All right. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to become a tech billionaire in 10 easy steps, and he's going to guide us through that.
I think we're going to talk about why they are evil.
Yes, exactly. We don't really know how to be tech billionaires.
Yeah.
I think if we did, we'd probably be.
We will not be making this podcast.
Yeah, we'll be doing other things.
Sure.
No, but like tech billionaires, I think it's really interesting, like the image of tech billionaires in the last like 20 years. I don't know about you, but like when I was younger and I was first getting into tech, well, I didn't want to be in software. I think I've told you this before, but I wanted to be like a film director. And in the US, we have like these counselors that you go to and they help you like decide what you want to study. And I was like, hey, I want to be a film director. And they were like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Like, you go to school, you spend $50,000 and you don't make any money. And then they knew that I liked tech and I like computers and stuff like that. And they were like, you should look into tech. Have you looked at all these like, billionaire, like all these really successful people? They're creating amazing businesses. And then I went online and I looked up of like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and I looked up to those people. And that's why I wanted to be in tech in the first place.
So 20 years ago. So basically, it's like Bill Gates was
was an idol.
Yeah, he was an idol.
And not that long. I remember one point where Elon Musk was also an idol.
Like I was before, it was way after you were picking what to do.
Yeah, exactly. But at one point, I think it wasn't just me. Maybe it was just me, but the outlook that we had on them is like, oh, these are new kinds of billionaires. They're not like the traditional like medical company billionaires. They're like bringing out new companies, and their optics were different. The way they used to dress was also different. Right? They're very humble. If you look at the old photos, right, it was like Jeff Bezos worked from his garage. He dresses very simple.
I'm ashamed to say it, but it's true. It's like Bill Gates was my idol.
Right? Okay, that's just me.
No. I wanted to be like, oh shit, if Bill Gates can do it, if these guys can do it, I can do it too.
It's like they were like your Michael Jordan,
Sadly, Michael Jordan was not my idol, it was Bill Gates. I did something terrible with my night at some point. I was like, what the fuck?
But it is true. I'm glad. And even Elon Musk, I remember like, oh, electric cars, like this guy's doing good.
I don't know if I involved into the whole electric cars thing, but
you already knew he was crazy.
No,
like the first time. Okay.
No, like I like the sad thing is I liked him. I liked Elon Musk because, and the reason why I liked him because when he will go on a stage, he was super awkward, super weird.
Yeah.
You would see like an interview or him talking, and it was super weird. I used to sit and watch whatever speech he will do, not all of them, because of this. Because it's like, oh, this guy is super awkward. He must be a nice guy.
Yeah. So
somehow
it was related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think so too. And I think he came out once and he was like, oh, I play World of Warcraft. And like, see, I'm just like you. I'm just like a nerdy guy who happens to be a billionaire.
Do you think he fooled us all? Or you think like he was like that? And then something happened? Because if you look at them, like Zuckerberg, Bezos, Elon, like all of them, and they're used to look super nerdy, super relatable to people like us,
super humble. Like they would wear different kind of clothes back then, like plain t-shirts.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be like in a Lamborghini or shit.
No, it looked a little bit like, this is like just a normal guy, nerdy guy who came out with a product. I was lucky, and then boom, they were there.
And now I'm like, look at me. Like Jeff Bezos was like an inspiration to a lot of people. I worked in my garage selling books, doing my own. I wrote a website and I look at me.
Yeah.
So do you think, that's a good question. Were they all just bullshitting us, or was it like, did they change because of the money?
I think they changed because
of the power and the money, or because society doesn't look at them the same way. They've all kind of realized, well, fuck you. You're just a bunch of billionaires.
So I think if you put a person who is, let's say, with this profile, like very socially awkward person who has maybe through their whole life, they have been having issues with like, their interrelationships. And then suddenly they are on the spotlight. Suddenly they are famous. Suddenly they have access to whatever they want. And society treats them in a different way. Right? Then suddenly they are, there's like people worshiping these guys. That really fuck up your mind. Yeah. You're not prepared for that. You didn't grow up with that. Then it's like, and suddenly, oh my God, I'm so cool. Yeah. That might fuck up your mind. Like, I don't know.
So you think they were really humble at the beginning? They were like, you know what, we want to do good in the world. We started these companies. We're not very frivolous, but then the power and the money and what that does to your mind turns you inevitably into a super villain. Like that's the only way.
Magic corrupts or power corrupts. That's what they do. So you have enough power, enough money, and then you transform. Right? That's what we like in a bad way usually. And this is what we are seeing. But I wonder if is that their fault, or is it us? Maybe we created them. We are saying here, Bill Gates was my idol, and then other people probably, Jeff Bezos was my idol, Mark Zuckerberg was my idol, or whatever, like Elon Musk. Maybe it's our fault.
You think now that we hate them, they're like, you know what? Fuck you guys. If you're gonna hate me, I'd become like super villain?
No, I think we treat these people in a way that fuck them up.
Oh, you think because we idolize them so much?
And then we create these monsters. I'm not saying they are monsters, but
they're a little bit kind of monsters.
It's like, they look evil somehow.
That is one thing that's interesting. It's the perception is evil, but this is something they did on their own. Because they have gone from like a very humble-looking people like Jeff Bezos, right?
Yeah.
To like now being jacked up, looking like the Batman supervillain. Yeah. And I feel like they all got together and they're like, we're gonna change our image, like to stop being little bitches.
There's like this secret meeting of tech billionaires where they get together all wimpy. I'm like, hey, Jeff, people laugh at me. What should I do?
It's like, okay, guys, it's time. Like, we're going to buy $1 million watches. We're going to buy leather jackets, shave our heads. Come Nazis. We go all these people.
It could be. Maybe there's some secret meeting where they get together. Say, this is what they do, right?
Because all of them have sort of changed into...
Not at the same time.
Not at the same, but...
Or more or less at the same time.
Yeah, like Mark Zuckerberg now, like, stylish.
He's suddenly stylish. Like you look at him a few years ago, and he looks like a dwarf. And then now, it's like he's like all with like a nice hair, like gold chain, watch, like new watch, which is fine. I mean, you're allowed to. That doesn't make you bad.
But they're all doing it at the same time, which is kind of interesting.
Yes.
What is the name of the ChatGPT, OpenAI? There's like one video like a few years ago where he's like, this is like a non-profit company. I don't make a lot of money. I don't like taking the money. And then like I saw like on Instagram a few weeks ago, like there's a video of him in Lamborghini in Miami, like just, or some crazy sports cars like that. Yeah. So it seems like they're all going in and like, you know what? I'm a billionaire. I'm tired of being humble.
I think it's like if you get to that point, you're like, okay, I better use my money, right? It's like, even if, unless that can change, maybe 10 years ago, you were thinking like, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need all that money. And then suddenly you have all that money, and you're like,
I actually want it.
Actually, why not? Also, they do move in a way, in an environment where everyone expects them to behave in a certain way. And remember, these are not people who are like, who have a lot of today they do have a lot of self-confidence. But I don't think they had that before.
Because they're like nerdy people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
scrawny. Like, yeah, you see a lot of their old photos. They look kind of like, you know, what you would consider losers.
Yeah.
They were not like the cool kids in school.
No, they were not. And then suddenly, but then when you think about it, maybe that's also one of the reasons. They were not the cool kids. Hey, but now I can be the cool. Now I'm the cool kid. I can be it. So I'm going to go all in.
I'm gonna be a bully.
Yeah. Now I can be a bully. It's like you transform into your enemies or what used to be your enemies, because those people had power over you, and now you have to have power over them.
Damn.
I don't know. It could be.
That could be.
Because like they do look a little bit like bullies.
Now, yeah.
Now.
From like the bullied kid.
Everyone, but I don't know. Jeff Bezos looks a little like a bully now. Like, well,
yeah, with like.
Mark Zuckerberg tries to look like a nice, cool guy.
Yeah.
But he's, I don't know.
He's still a bit. Well, can he ever look like a bully? I don't know if he could ever. Doesn't matter what he does.
I mean, they are different kind of bullies, right? They are like, they can be legal bullies.
Yeah.
If they don't like what we are talking here, and this goes live,
they can sue us, but they won't get much money.
Just for the record.
I mean, bookshop. No, it's books. Like I heard another theory is I heard that a lot of them have been like recently divorced, and their only sort of maybe guiding star was their wives. Like Jeff Bezos, by the way, she got divorced. Amazing settlement. That's awesome. But like, there's, I don't know if this is true. It's just rumors. I don't know if it's true, but like this is also happening with like other billionaires. And then all of a sudden they find themselves sort of free, and they're like, oh shit, I can use that money for whatever I want. There's nobody telling me to like be reasonable. I'm gonna get a tattoo in my face and whatever I want.
So you mean like they had like a someone keeping them safe?
Not safe, in line.
Yeah, could be.
It's just another theory.
But it's also hard to keep track, because I know that some of these guys like Jeff Bezos, for example, Elon Musk, they have married and divorced and remarried. So it's like somehow it looks like their relationship don't last that long.
Well, the first ones do, right? Like Jeff Bezos, I think I have to look that up, but I think he was married for a long time.
Yeah, probably.
Miss Bezos, I don't know her name.
Yeah, but before he got into this.
Yeah,
right? They got together before that.
Before that, yeah. So like the after wives are different. They don't last. Those are like
no, because of course they approach likely by the money, because of the money.
Most likely, yeah.
Which is also, it really fucks you up. It's like if suddenly you are in that position. Let's say you are like a nerd who's like not without like much social skills, and then suddenly you're famous, and then like you have money, and then. Yeah, you go to these parties, and then a lot of ladies approach you. Yes. Oh my God, I'm popular, so I can't pick any of them. And like, many of them are going to be there for your money or for your fame or whatever.
I don't think even just ladies, just most people in general.
Most people, yeah.
I think it's going to be hard to make
any real
relationships.
True.
I mean, if I see Jeff Bezos at a party, I hope he never hears this podcast. But I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Jeff, how are you?"
True. So you will go and like, how do you call it? Like when you suck up on someone because
suck up on someone. Yeah.
Would you be that kind of guy? Like, hey, Elon, nice. Elon Musk. Ass kissing. So you see Elon Musk in a party, and then will you do that?
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, suck, and then I'll just be like, oh man, I'm a big fan. I got a podcast. If you can mention it.
I think that's the problem. Every single person who approached them
wants something.
They want something.
That's true.
And then it's like, I think that's what we see them in, like this transformation into like sort of like Bond villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like because of the environment. For us, it's impossible to meet normal people.
I think that there's a point there, right? The environment.
It really fucks you up.
It really fucks you up.
It's like, yeah, like but it's easy to criticize. It is very easy to criticize these people for all of us because we're like, oh yeah, this fucking guy who has money and like who he thinks. But what would you do?
Yep.
If you're in the same situation? Because like, suddenly they're all beefed up and like look like all with nice clothes and stuff. I think like normally I have good style, so I will not change that. But I will put more time into exercising. For example, for sure. Like I will hire like a personal trainer and like make sure that he gets me like all beefed up. Why? Why we want that? I don't know, because you will have time and money to do it.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I would do it. So that doesn't make you bad.
No.
But what makes you bad? Why we think they are bad?
I think the perception is now that since they are flaunting all their money and all their power, as before they were more conservative about showing that off, people were less angry at them because I think the main thing is like, oh yeah, these individuals have a lot of power, they have a lot of money, but they're not distributing it across like their employees and the people that work for them. They're hoarding all this money. They're influencing government, like Elon Musk is in all these different like politic stuff. Mark Zuckerberg, he owns a lot of social medias, and some people feel like the decisions he makes are bad. I got all this fake news. It's your responsibility to, whether you agree with that or not. There's people pissed off at them. And there's, I think, especially in America, there's a lot of like now consciousness of like, there's a few people that have a lot and there's a lot of people that don't, and they're taking it out on the people that have a lot. So I think it's easy to hate a billionaire like that. I mean, I hate billionaires. I don't even know why, but if you're a billionaire, I hate you. I don't know. Cannot think of a good. But
that can be envy.
Is it envy?
I am not saying you are it's envy, but like, is it? I don't know.
That's an interesting question. I don't want to be like them. I just don't want them to have so much, and a lot of people not that much. That's sort of how I look at it. Because okay, look, have millions, but like billions and billions, and like I think there was, I don't know if you remember, Jeff Bezos was building a yacht here in the Netherlands, and then he wanted like Amsterdam or something to put up the bridge.
Rotterdam historical bridge, and then the yacht was so big that they had to take apart the bridge.
Like inconvenience other people and shit just because of the billionaire. And I think that's what people are kind of like, you know what, fuck you. Like, or if you look at the climate, for example, and then like they're shooting up rockets to space just to like, because I mean, if I had $1 billion, I'd probably do the same. I build my own rocket. But I could also see why, people would be like, dude, what are you doing? Come on.
I see why people are angry at them. I'm not sure I'm angry at them, but I don't like a lot of things that they do.
Like what?
Like, for example, like Elon now. But I have this thing because I used to like Elon Musk, and then now he's doing things that I don't like, so I feel betrayed.
Oh, yeah.
Because like, this is what we were talking before. It's like, if you meet someone or you see someone, you think that they are a good person, and suddenly they change, you're like, you feel betrayed. So I feel a little bit like that. Not only that he betrayed me, just I feel like, oh, maybe I misjudged him. Maybe he wasn't that nice. But of course, there's a lot of things that he really went out of right. It's like, I don't know, like the nuts. Even if, I don't know if it's a joke or not for him, maybe he's like, you know what? I want to show people that I can do whatever I want. And then that pisses me off.
Yeah.
I don't like that attitude. Because it's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. But there's a lot of people suffering in the world. I'm not. But like, there's a lot of people who are suffering in the world. You don't need to go and then show off in their face that you can do whatever you want. Even say, it doesn't contribute to a better world. It doesn't contribute to a better society. It doesn't contribute to like being nice to other humans. I think there's a lot of things that now he's coming up with that looks like, oh shit, like this is not very nice. Or like certain things that you read about how he managed companies, or like when he bought Twitter and then like, oh, I want my tweets to have more viewers, and he will like get angry at it. So it's like, I wonder if he was always like that, but like those things are not nice. It's not nice on Elon Musk. It's not nice on anyone. It's not just him. Right? It's like anyone who does that. The thing is like he happens to be in a position of power, and then that pisses me off. That is like he gets a lot of attention, and there's a lot of people who really like them and follow them, and then like they feel entitled, not entitled, but like empowered because their idol is doing that. Then that means that I can also be an asshole and do that. That's not nice because you are contributing to not to a nice society. It's the opposite. You're contributing to like the society to become more violent, for example.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's true what you say. He has a lot of influence. A lot of these billionaires have a lot of influence, and maybe that's why they're one of the reasons why they're evil now is maybe they're not using that for the best. Yeah. Like Elon Musk is a good example, right? So much good he could be doing, but it seems like he's for some reason now very like
focused on other stuff.
Yeah, focus on a little fucking up the U.S. government for some reason.
Exactly. Let's say that he really believes that that's the way to fix the U.S. But still, so you could be doing a lot of other things with your power, with your influence. You could be a nice guy. You don't need to prove anyone now at this point that you are like, like badass, or that you can like, you already prove yourself. You already prove that you could make billions, create a lot of companies, be successful in business. In other things, I'm not sure. Because, like, you prove it. So that's it. Now use your influence and your power to try to do nice things, make people happy. Yeah. Don't put the seed of like violence or like fights into people.
I think, I don't think it was enough for like now that we're talking about Elon Musk specifically. I don't know. It seems like he wants to be liked. Like from what I've read about him and stuff, and like the thing where like he used to play Warcraft. I also like I read somewhere that he would pay people to play Warcraft for him, so that his character would be like better, and then people would be impressed by his skills. Well, maybe this is where it all comes from, right? Maybe he tried to get approval in the left crowd with politicians on the left and with people on the left, and maybe they were like, no, fuck you. He got really angry at them and then went to the other side where he felt like, okay, here people are accepting me for my craziness. And then it's like, I don't know, like if you go back to like high school and you try to become friends with the punk kids, and they were like, no, fuck you. And then the emo kids accept you, even though you hated the emo kids before. Now you're all like, I'm an emo and I'm gonna hate the punk kids because that's where I was accepted. So that could also be why. Maybe that's a good theory, actually.
That could be.
That could be it.
Maybe he found like
his own emo kids.
Yeah, like in the Nazis and in the
in the
far right, whatever. He found like people who actually like him. Yeah, could be.
That could be.
But that's for him. But the other guys, like Jeff Bezos, I don't know what evil is. I mean, the way Amazon is run is evil, right? It's like the way
we just read about employees having to pee in bottles.
Oh, the pee scandal. The pee bottling scandal.
So apparently a lot of the truck drivers, they didn't have enough break time, so they had to pee in bottles. And then he went out publicly and said like, oh, thank you guys for peeing in bottles and working really hard. Instead of like just giving them more break time.
Yeah.
Just like such a successful company. That's kind of evil.
Is that evil or is that out of touch?
That's true. I mean, that is
like, that could be, right? It's like, I don't know if that's evil. It's kind of like idiotic, stupid. Yes. Out of touch. So you have billions and then their employees are underpaid. Or I don't know, underpaid. They are like not being paid like super high. Like the truck drivers who had to pee in bottles.
Yeah, that's a good question though. Like, okay, does something have to be, like, in order for something to be considered evil, does it have to it be intentionally like done as an evil act, or could something that you think you may be doing for good still constitute as evil? Like, for example, I may want to, like that guy who in the Netherlands who was trying to donate a lot of sperm, and he has like 1,000 kids, right? So he goes around donating sperm under different identities, and then he has like 1,000 kids in the Netherlands, they're all living closely to each other, who are brothers and sisters, but they don't know. And he thinks that of his heart, he's like, I'm doing good. But it's kind of an evil thing, because now you're like, you're there's a bunch of people being born that are brothers and sisters next to each other. They don't even know.
That's a weird thing to. I don't think it's an evil thing too. I mean, evil is more like premeditation. Is like the word.
Like you have to be like, oh, I'm gonna do something.
How to plan ahead to do something bad. Like a James Bond villain is evil because usually they have a plan to do something bad. Right, so it's like that's an evil. But if you are not planning ahead,
that's a good theory on evil. Okay, so if I just like I'm walking around and I stop someone out of anger, like
you're an asshole.
I'm just an asshole.
Yeah, you're just an asshole. An asshole, or like a bad person, or like a criminal.
But it came out of like anger. Like it wasn't like I.
That's still a criminal and asshole. Because and you have issues because you cannot control your anger.
And then so evil is more like, oh, I'm gonna take over
the world.
Okay. That's very interesting. So
that's to me, it's very obvious.
So, I mean, do you think that these billionaires have sort of like long-term take over the world plans? Like when you look at somebody like Elon Musk, do you think he's sitting down right now and all these billions, all these power, and he's going, you know what, I want to be the most powerful man in the world. And that's why I'm going to do all these weird things. I'm going to buy Twitter so I can have a voice. I'm going to like mingle in the U.S. election. I'm going to try to get in the U.S. government because I want more power. Or is it just some guy going around like, fuck it, dude, I have nothing to do this Tuesday. let me see what I can get up to.
I think Elon Musk in particular, I think he's a big fan of James Bond.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
He read this.
He also like bought like a bunch of cars from James Bond, mostly his original cars. But
okay.
And I think like he cannot identify with James Bond. He cannot be Bond.
No, I see it.
He can be an evil, a villain.
Be a villain
of like a Bond.
He doesn't have that sexiness.
He doesn't have. And then I think maybe at some point he wanted to be James Bond. And then at some point he was like, oh fuck, I cannot be James Bond, but
I can be the
villain. And then he's a big fan of that. So maybe that saved him somehow.
Oh shit.
Like, and then that could influence his decisions.
So he
fits the profile. He has a lot of money. He can do, like, he has power. It's like you can easily put him on one of these movies. So maybe he wants to be a real life Bond villain.
Right.
If that's his quirky dream.
That could be like, and I think, for most of us, like you and me, if we're having a shitty day and we want to do something shitty that day. Like, I don't know, that happens every now and then. You're just like, see that good word, your neighbor pisses you off.
Yeah.
So then you take a poop on his driveway. I've never done that, but maybe there's some people. No, but like, I don't know, you just...
How do you manage your anger?
Yeah, okay. I meditate.
You poop in your
neighbors. It's an instinct that I have. No, but like if somebody really pisses you off, you're limited by the things that you can do, you and me. Like the way that you take out your anger.
Yeah.
Let's say you're bad at taking out your anger. Like, let's say someone is bad at taking out their anger. They just might shout at their neighbor like, hey, shut those damn dogs. Or they get pissed off when they go order something and they get, they don't get like amazing service. You see those people like, hey, but like if you have $1 billion and you get pissed off, like what? The way you can let that out is like magnified so much more. Like you could fuck a bunch of people's life up if they piss you off.
Very easily.
Very easily.
That's true. Like, today, like a normal person, if we have a bad day,
You could just poop in your neighbor's house.
so normal people today, if they have a bad day, or if something piss them off, like there's something bad happens to you, or someone makes something bad to you,
Yeah.
or the thing that you have limited options as a normal person. It's like we are constrained by law, which is good, but like you cannot. If someone comes and then like says, "Well, I get a graffiti in my house, and I see who
And you see
that person."
it's these kids.
Yeah, whatever. What do you do? You don't have much options. Right? You can just go and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Which are going to laugh at you.
Exactly.
You may try to go to the police, which is going to ignore you.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I can deal with it. Paint it.
That's the thing. So you cannot do anything. You just can go and paint and remove it. There's nothing you can do. That's a small example, but anything else. Yeah. If you are driving in the highway and then someone cross your path or does something and then almost crash you, what you can do? You can roll the window and just like shut them.
Stick out a little finger.
I say, fuck you, but that's as much as you can do.
But
what if you have a limited power?
That's interesting.
That's changed the way. If you piss me off, I can think of like 100 ways that I will take revenge against you.
Like, okay, let's say these bunch of teenagers graffiti your house.
Yeah.
You see one of them, you kind of know who you are.
Yeah.
You can hire this really hot actress to have an affair with the dot and then get their parents to divorce.
Nice, and then fuck up their life.
And then on the day of the divorce, you could be like, I did that.
You could, that will be a very planned ahead kind of evil.
That would be evil.
And I approach will be like, I will just hire a hitman. And that's easier. But
damn, okay, that's a quick.
That much more direct approach, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that.
But you can get really
or
people's lives.
You can hire a hacker to hack their social media. If it's like,
oh yeah,
that, right? And then like you get them out of all their services or whatever, take over, and then like that's their digital life.
Yeah.
You can hire a bully to do something. So it's like there's so many ways. Yeah. You can make sure that there's some criminal records that don't exist, but they enter in the database, and then in the future they cannot find a job or they cannot get a visa, whatever.
And I can imagine in the context of billionaires, this happens at very high levels, right? Like,
yeah,
a country can piss you off, and you just be like, "All right, you're gonna piss me off. I'll take the satellite and turn it away."
For example, yeah, totally. That's what gives them so much power.
Yeah.
So, but then also, the more power they have, the more options they have. So it's like, it is a cycle.
That's interesting.
But then that's true.
It's scary.
It is scary. I'm scared. Like, these guys are good guys, right? We're not talking again.
We're not talking shit.
So we're not talking shit.
But it
is scary.
Yeah.
Because they have unlimited options to do whatever they want. And then maybe that's why we see them, oh, they are evil, but then maybe there's some grudge they have against someone or something.
Or a group of people.
And
they have that much power.
Yeah. There's okay, I read this thing, and this is like talking about evil. This is serious. I think this is bad. Turns out that Elon Musk has a daughter who's trans.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of as a boy, and like, and apparently this has been like, no one was talking about this, but
it's not like a hidden daughter,
but and then recently there was an interview where he said like, oh, for me that son is dead.
Oh shit!
Because she went through like the medical treatment. And he said he was very direct with that. He was talking on an interview. He said, he's dead, blah, blah, blah. He was tricking to sign in treatments, whatever, right? Okay. And then because of that, she got pissed. She was like, I want to really like be away from this person because apparently they didn't have a good relationship. But then when she saw that interview, she got pissed because she said, okay, saying that was really against me.
Yeah.
So she had an interview and then she was talking in the media about a bunch of stuff, like how he was not a good dad, how he was a super narcissist, how...
I can imagine.
Yeah, how he would just like bully her when she was a kid because she sounded like a girl, like this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Super bad. And then, apparently, Elon Musk said that after that happened to his son, that's how he keeps referring to her as a him, right? He got so angry at the whole, how we call it, woke movement, that he swore to destroy it.
Yeah, so that's it. That's what we were talking about now.
Exactly. And this is, when I was reading this, it's like, oh, shit, this is... this makes sense. I mean, it makes sense in a way, like in his mind, like why he became so evil into this, like so public about against this.
So against, like, so really for the other side. So he's going like, oh, this woke movement was what made my son do this.
He doesn't want to accept it. Of course, before that, he was already against,
obviously,
freedom of,
he would have accepted that.
Exactly. So of course he had it. Deep inside, he was a Nazi anyway, maybe, or not. I don't know. It's not like whatever against this, but there was something in his life that made him hate all of that even more, or at least to try to go against that in public.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think a lot of the like older generation has like homophobia and like hate trans people and all that stuff, and more, right? People, like especially older people, are starting to accept that. I mean, like, okay, not everybody, but I can see a shift like in uncles and my dad. They more and more accept it. But if you're a billionaire, you don't have to accept that shit. You could just be like, you know what? I don't like this movement, and I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go against it. You think you're more powerful than what everybody else wants, or how the world is changing.
But that makes you evil.
That is, yeah.
Because it's like, you are like, because I don't like something, or because I don't accept something,
I'm gonna change it, destroy it.
Destroy it. Then that makes you evil. That makes you someone who is like, all right, no, this is not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you do you, and let other people do them.
And there's plenty of people like him, but with that mindset, but he is in a position of power where he could actually do something about it.
He can,
because now he has done.
He has influence. He has done something. He has influence over other people, and worse, I think, is that he can incentivize more hate. Against people, against these groups.
He gets the whole group, the whole gang.
Good job.
And I think now in the U.S., like, I don't know the details of it, but a lot of companies used to like have to have like hire like without discrimination, like if you were trans or something. But there was like a group of government that did that, and apparently he got rid of it. So like a lot of like even like the NFL and stuff like that, like they took all of those things.
All the diversity and raw stuff.
Which makes sense now that you're saying it. I don't know this about his daughter, but where does all this come from? It could be that. It could be that these guys are going in there like, you know what? We hate this movement. We want to kill this whole mentality. It might be ruining our youth or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things. Again, it's not because of that, and that's one factor. And like that, probably there's a lot of other things.
Yeah. It is.
And that's like, that's terrible. It's like you read about it, it's like, what's the fact? I want the actual fact. It's like,
it's insane.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the part we didn't know about him when we were looking on, like, oh, he's building cool cars.
Exactly.
Building rocket ships.
He's hating trans people. We didn't know that. Besides, right?
It just came out later.
Deep inside, like, no. And I don't know, he may hate other groups too.
He might hate us.
I mean, like Latino guys, we hate that.
But if you're watching this, we have a podcast. You want to come on?
No, it's sort of that. So that's the other guys. I don't know. Like Zuckerberg is a different example. I think Zuckerberg is.
Yeah, Did you ever watch that movie, like, of how he created Facebook?
How is it called?
Social media or something? I don't know what it was.
I think I watched it.
But I saw that movie a while ago and I was like, fuck, is that easy? I can drop out of college and make a Facebook.
That was the mentality. That's why they saw it, right? Oh my God. That's the other thing. That was relatable. Like people could relate to him because it's like, oh, a lot of kids will be like, if I drop off of college and I can start this business,
I can
and be like him.
Yeah, and I think you're right. He comes from a little bit of a different background, and I don't know that he's a super villain yet. I think I haven't decided yet. I don't think he's, like an amazing person, but I don't know that he's in the same league of evil as Elon Musk. But maybe he catches up at some point. I don't know. Maybe I don't know a lot of things, but he seems to me a little bit less.
To me, this is my so Mark Zuckerberg doesn't come across as evil yet. Somehow. I don't. Again, it looks like probably he's not a nice guy. I don't know. I haven't judged.
Like I would hang out with him. That's just for the podcast.
If you want to come. No. It's like I don't know. The thing is like it doesn't. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell. Like he has been since the beginning with the same wife, for example. That hasn't changed.
That's weird. Like if I had $1 billion,
he was drunk your wife.
No. Hey, babe.
Are we cutting this out?
No, you can leave this on. But like if she was your wife from like when you were in college, like 20.
Yeah.
I don't know, I might change wives.
Well, I don't know if they were together since they are in college.
Oh no.
But what I know,
I read somewhere that he met her in the university. What was the story? And he was really nerdy or something like that. He took her, like they were in a dorm party.
Okay, so
it is.
So they have been together. No, but I think that's what he has done right, because at the level he got, how he could meet someone who is truly interested in him and not in his fame or money. It's impossible.
So that's true. I think
it's like
evilness is not Mark Zuckerberg's main problem, or that it's creepiness.
Yes, he comes across a little bit creepy.
He does come across.
But you know what? I have this weird thing that I think he has a fantasy to be like Elon Musk has this fantasy of being an evil, a villain, a Bond
villain. Yeah,
I think Mark Zuckerberg has a fantasy of being like a hero,
like the hero of the story.
Yes,
Bond,
kind of. I maybe not
like a Spider-Man.
More like a Spider-Man. More like that. No, not like, but more like a actually superhero. I think somehow he comes across like a guy who has that fantasy, who's like, yeah, I have power and I want to use it for that.
Yeah,
in his own twisted
way.
Yeah, right. Because again, he has a lot of influence. He could be doing a lot of good things. Maybe he's doing a lot of good things. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
He has some foundation to donate money or whatever. So for sure, that's. Or I don't know for sure, but I think he has.
Maybe.
Or his wife managed something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's not the thing that we hear the most out of it.
No, I think to get a little bit more technical, like his models, like his AI models that Meta is coming out are the only like really open source ones.
Yeah, or open source. Open.
But you can use like for
you can use them. You can
deploy them and you can use them on your own. No just strings attached.
So that will be a way for him to contribute, that he sees that contributing.
But his platforms are kind of crazy. Like I read that he recently, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but there used to be on Facebook this thing that would say, hey, this is fake news, or this could be fake news.
Yeah.
And it will warn like users about it. And then he took all that off, and then like it's less restriction.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Actually, on one hand, like, I mean, is it the responsibility of him to moderate what happens on the platform? Is it not? That's another argument.
That's that's a tricky story. That's a whole podcast.
That's
because
the whole podcast.
That's moderation. It's like that's true.
Next episode.
No, they have changed there was a video of him with a gold chain.
Exactly.
What? We are going to remove all the fact checks.
Fuck Congress.
But that's hard to tell because it's like there was at some point, like a few years ago, he went against Trump. I don't know if Facebook removed Trump from Facebook, all these kind of things. And then suddenly now they are switching, but it's like, I don't know, but Trump also treat him like he was not treat say that, okay, if you do this again, you're going to go in jail. So now he has power, more power than before. And then for Meta, they need to keep playing in the playing the game.
That could be.
So maybe this is something that behind doors they were like, look, you have to remove all of these things. In order, it's a deal. Okay, you can do all of this, but then you need to do all of that. And then he's a guy who easily sells his soul. I think that's it looks
like he doesn't have strong moral guiding lines, you think?
Or maybe his moral guiding lines are shifted or different. They say, oh, he doesn't think that this is a terrible thing because he said, okay, this is bad, but then I'm going to contribute in other ways. And then what you think about it, if you really want to be the good guy, you have to make decisions. It's like maybe you have to make a deal to cut a deal with the government.
Yeah, it's not so straightforward.
No, but then you have to, in order to keep being in a powerful position, then you need to cut some deals.
Mm-hmm.
So it is complex. So maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe they're nobody is fully good and fully evil, I think. I think there's, everybody has, it's sort of a spectrum of where you are, I think. So I, for example, with this guy, I don't think any of them are fully evil. I just think they might have perceptions of ideals or values that we consider evil, or somebody else considers evil. But I don't think most people act out of pure evil. Out of pure, you know what, I want to fuck everybody. Or my decisions that I make, I just want everybody to burn.
But at some point, when power and money has corrupted you enough, you may go into that. Maybe your mind maybe you become a sociopath. You're like, you know what? Fuck it. I really want to leave my mark in this way.
I'm just going to bring the ship down and burn everybody.
Because otherwise, then we enter in a tricky terrain. It's like, oh, no one is doing evil because they want to do it. They think that they are doing something good in their own mind.
No, but I mean more like the example that you gave, right? If you want to have some change in the world, it's not so straightforward as just going and doing it. You have to make compromise. You have to do maybe a little bad here, a little bad over here to get that good thing that you want. It's not so straightforward where it's all goodness.
You could try though, but it's never the situation. Yeah. In this case, if you want to keep Meta at the level that it has, maybe you need to go with certain things. Or maybe not. Maybe he's just okay, if we do this, our revenue is going to go up, so let's do it.
Let's just fucking do it.
It's weird.
It is weird, but what I'm really curious about is the chain. Where?
Yeah. How do you think that happened? How do you think? Because why the chain?
Why the whole outfit? I get it because it looks way better. The ladies are loving it. I saw an Instagram post, and then they're just looking at the comments of the ladies. I was super hilarious.
It's he looks better, of course, with the hair like that, a permanent.
Do you think that was his wife was look, you gotta change the look, or he had a personal stylist? But I mean, I feel if you're a billionaire, you have a whole team of people at your disposal to curate your appearance, and it took him so long. He was looking 15 years, looking like a robot, like an android.
Yeah, he looked.
that. Yeah, I don't like what happened. Do you think some people came up to me? Do you think it was him? Do you think how do you make that change?
I think he's like he's close to 40s, right?
Yeah, it's a midlife crisis.
Like he's a midlife crisis, and then like at some point you are like, okay, what the fuck I'm doing?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, and then it's a midlife crisis, and then like we want to like restyle a little bit, and then like maybe he went somewhere, and then for some reason he had to change his look, and then he was like, oh, actually, I really like how I look like this, and then like he went for it.
I got a different theory. I think he met like a side chick who just happened to have like a sense of style for sure. And then she had like more of a sense of style because his wife is also not that stylish. And then she's all like, hey, you know what? You look so cool with a chain. And if you do your hair like this, and then that's got in his head, and you're like, you know what? I should.
That's an interesting theory.
I don't think it was like his realization, like, oh, I think someone had to plant the seed in him, like, I could look good. I could be sexy. And I think there had to be a woman that
Could be
having some sort of affair.
or a guy. Oh, that woman. Maybe he met someone
Or a guy.
that I don't know. To me, it looks like his relationship is genuine. Like he has a good.
I don't know. It looks kind of creepy, like when he comes, like, I don't know if you've seen that. There was one video where like he's giving some announcement on Meta and like his whole family, and they're all like super stiff. Hi, and he's doing it. It doesn't look
Could be.
and we don't know what's happening closed doors. I mean,
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It could be that good. But I mean, it's a midlife crisis, and then like I think about it. Like, if you have a midlife crisis, and then you have unlimited resources, I say that okay, fuck it, I'm going to like hire someone who tells me how I should look better, how I can look better, and then someone comes and say, hey, bro, a gold chain.
that is true. And coming to that, like, one of the things that we wanted to discuss was what would we do? And I was just thinking about that, like, if I became a millionaire or a billionaire, one of the first things I would do,
A gold chain. You will totally rock a gold.
I will fucking rock gold. For sure, a big ass gold. But I think one of the first things I do is just hire someone to just do all my shopping, like that has better fashion sense than me.
No, I love the shopping.
Yeah, that's you, but I hate it. I would just be like, look,
Is that why you dress like?
this is my best outfit. But I would,
Well,
especially if I was in a public image like him. So I'm just surprised that it took him
so long.
so long because
I'm surprised of that too. Some people say like, oh, it's because they want to, like Steve Jobs or whoever, like they want to show that they don't have time to think about style because they have other more important things to think about.
I think that was a strategy for a while.
That's bullshit.
That was a strategy of like, hey, I'm humble. I'm like you. And I don't even have that, like, money is not a big deal. Like, I don't make decisions because of money.
That could be.
But that's bullshit. Maybe now it's like, because I read there was like an article he's given in the last conference he met, and there was like a $1 million watch or something he was wearing, and people were like, well, he's definitely rocking wealth now.
Do you need a watch like that?
Billionaire.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think if you're a millionaire, so talking about how will we behave in that case? It's like, do you need a $1 million watch?
I don't need it, but I'd buy it.
Why?
Because I have $1 billion.
And then I think that's how easy it was raised.
It's like, oh, I can donate this money
Exactly.
to a good charity.
You can do that 1 million. You can, I mean, okay, you are already allocating maybe like 100 millions to charities. Then maybe you're like, okay, 100 millions, then 1 million, I'm going to use it for a watch. But then the thing is like, why you will wear that watch? Why? Like, what will bring into your life that without that watch you don't have? Why? What's the need of buying that watch?
That's what I think now, right? Like, I mean, I don't wear any jewelry. Like, no, I don't need that. But if I could afford a $1 million watch, I might just buy it just because I can be like, yeah, I can afford that. It's like,
so to show off.
Not to show off to people, but to validate myself. Like, damn, I can afford $1 million watch.
But then
And I sit in a cafe like, look at that. Like, yeah.
that's super sad. If you are at that level, and then you need to validate yourself by buying a 1 million watch.
What else would you do with the money after you donate it to charities and stuff? And you look in your account and shit, there's still like
There's a lot of
15 million in there.
I think.
And you're walking by a watch shop and then you're like,
No. I mean, I probably would walk by a watch shop and buy 1, 2, 3, whatever, like the ones that I like.
yeah.
But doesn't mean that the one that I like is going to be 1 million euro.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be the 1 million. It's like, because usually those watches don't even look good. They are like, you look at them, it's like, just like, you see a Rolex.
Yeah.
A Rolex is like, yeah, it doesn't look that nice. It's just like an expensive piece. Yeah, it may be good, whatever, but it's like, there's a lot of watches for like, whatever, like 1,000, 2,000, which is already a lot.
Those are billionaire watches.
Yeah.
You had to rock that billionaire. I think if you're hanging out with like you're a billionaire, hanging out with a billionaire shit, your environment is
So that you go, and then there's a lot of people.
get that millionaire watch out of here.
But then it's like these people. Then that means that these people fall into the same trap as everyone else. It's like, I want to be like this person.
We're all humans in the end. We just want to belong and be accepted.
So they want to belong. So it's like, they go to this party of billionaires and they all are wearing these like super expensive watches, and it's like, oh shit, I have the Casio or like the whatever watch of $100. Maybe I change it.
And also the marketing, right? Because if you're a company that's selling $1 billion watches, they're not marketing to us. We don't probably get triggered, but we might get triggered by other things that are being marketed to us.
So they are very good at marketing.
It's pasta making machine. You think a billionaire would be like, let me get a, because maybe we're not like, those things are not being marketed to them. But if you're in that billionaire world where you're seeing the people you're hanging out with, the environment, you might at some point go, why not? I might want this.
So it's like, it's marketing. So marketing is affecting them
in a way, maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. Like I have a hard time imagining buying $1 million watch.
But you just say that, no, if you had $1 billion, you will just easily buy.
I think I would.
Yeah. So you can see yourself doing it.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm thinking of myself like this crazy billionaire in my head. But like,
no, but normal. Let's talk for real. It's like, if you're like crazy, we will do a lot of crazy shit. If you're like, what crazy stuff you could do, but like, to be real, let's say that you suddenly, or not, this is the other difference, right? These guys didn't become billionaires suddenly. It was a process.
Yeah.
So that process changed you. So that's why it's hard for us to say, because like, what if we will go through like a 10 years process where you see yourself and your life changing from nothing, or not nothing, but like from wherever we are into a billionaire level with all that involves.
I think
maybe that really changed.
Imagine all the, like, because I feel like they work a lot. Like, say what you say about them, I feel like these people, to be at that level, they're workaholics. Their whole life is running their business.
At least at some point it was.
And I think even now, I think legitimately, like people like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, all they do is work.
Yeah, it could be, but that's a problem if they do that, because you have the resources to hire the best of the best.
Yeah, but still, they have like, you're running Twitter, you're running Tesla, you're running SpaceX, you're trying to run the U.S. government.
The U.S. government is different.
But also with Mark Zuckerberg, he seems still very much involved, and I'm sure his weeks are packed with meetings. Sure, he can decide to take off like a week or a month or a year, but I think they're very active in what they do.
Could be. They're very involved. Like,
and let's say that they're not, but if for the last 15 years all you've done is nothing but work,
yeah,
and you've isolated, like you don't know how to get other highs in life. Like, there's not a lot of people close to you. You lost a lot of friendships. You don't have hobby. maybe buying a $1 million watch is the only way to like feel like
consumism. Like it's like what we, I mean,
like
also like middle class like us do, right? It's like you're like, I'm going to leave this Saturday, go to the shopping mall and buy a bunch of stuff. Okay, not 1 million watches, but maybe buy like whatever, like $100 something. So it's like, it's, and why do we do it? Just because, there's just to fill in void in your life, just because you enjoy.
Different reasons for different people, but
I mean, maybe he's really nice watches.
Maybe we're just hating on this guy, and he's like, dude, I just like fucking watches.
I spend money on cars because I like cars.
I wouldn't spend money on cars, unless it's a Jeep, but it doesn't cost that much. I don't need $1 million. I think I would spend money. Like, I mean, I'm not even lying, but like, I shouldn't be a billionaire because I could be like a very petty billionaire. Like, if somebody graffitis my house, I may hire a really hot girl so that your dad cheats on your mom.
That's your first thing of thinking you're wrong, right?
I think I would be afraid of the power that $1 billion gives me because I feel like I have this like a sense of justice, but I realize, that it's justice is perceptive. It's like, what is justice to me? And if I was in a position to bring justice down as I saw it, I'm afraid of what I would do.
In place. So what else would you do?
So what good and what evil would you do in the world? Because I think as a billionaire, you would do, no matter how good you try to be, you would be seen as evil by some people and good by some people.
But seen as evil, yeah, true.
And I think as a byproduct of being a billionaire, you would do some evil even if you don't want to.
But the other thing, but one thing is that in order to get to that point, you may need to do some evil, sadly. But once you are there, I don't think there's need to keep doing evil things once you're there, unless you really want to do it. Because
sure.
Okay, you're there already. You don't need to keep it. Like, you can be like, for example, like Bill Gates. Poor Bill. We didn't talk about Bill Gates. We was our idol. It's just, he doesn't look like an evil person today.
But, I think he is the good billionaire, but I think it's also, he has a team of people trying to make him like look good. Like,
he don't wear a gold chain.
He doesn't wear a gold chain, but I don't know. I don't buy that he's like nice, amazing person. He still hoards a lot of wealth.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't think he's necessarily a good person.
No. I don't put him on a pedestal because I don't trust it.
No, I don't. And he got there in a way that probably was the dirty way. It wasn't like nice, but he had business. He did his business like a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
Probably in order to get there, you have to fuck up some people.
Yeah.
But today, so we're talking about today. He's not probably active anymore as a
business
on business. Like, he's trying to be a philanthropist, right?
Yeah.
So he has a lot of money, and then he's trying to do stuff. He has different organizations. He's like the Melinda Gates, whatever, association, organization. So they are trying to do good. They are looking. So it sounds like he's trying to do good with the money he has.
Yeah.
He still has a lot of money for him and for his family. But once you got to that level, you need to keep that money. You cannot let go of that money.
No.
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, nothing's keeping you to hold that money, right? You could give more right away, but it is true. Like, where do you put it? Like, how do you know to trust other people with it, that they'll do the things that those organizations say they're going to do?
Exactly.
I get it, but I'm sure if we Google a little bit about Bill Gates shit, we'll find out like, oh, he did this thing and he did that thing
in the past. But today,
I don't know. We should Google that after and see. But
I think
I don't know.
But it's past that part. But going back, what you would, what
would I do?
So I know that what I would. I think I can imagine what I will do. Okay. Maybe it's a lie that I tell to myself, right?
Most likely, because you don't know what.
I don't know, but if I was in that position, basically what I will do is I will try to. So of course I will have a a lot of luxury in my life, but I'm not lying. I will do it. I will probably have like a super yacht, not a super yacht.
Super yacht. I wouldn't do no evil. I'll just have this big ass yacht that destroys the coral reef.
I would have like a very nice sailing boat. Sorry.
Okay.
No, that's different. Because super yachts, they really run on a lot of fuel. That doesn't make any sense. But like,
so
really nice sailing boat, all this kind of stuff. But I would probably try to like go around the world and then try to meet people in need and try to help them.
Okay.
Like really like one-on-one, or maybe okay, if you are famous and it's very hard, you're Bill Gates, you are like Mark Zuckerberg, you cannot go walk around whatever in Brazil by yourself trying to find people in need. I don't think you can.
You're gonna get stabbed.
Yeah, you cannot do that, right?
$1 million one.
Yeah, but probably we'll have a team of people going into places, scouting
poor people.
yeah.
Oh shit!
But this is a plan that I will do. Scouting people in need, and then like I will get them to present the case, and I'm like, hey, okay, let's help these people. Like really life-changing help. Like it's like one-on-one. Okay, that person, that family needs this. Like I'm going to do it. So probably that's one of the things I will do.
Okay.
With my time, like not all the time, but I will feel good. It's just to feel good about it.
And you go and you see it in Brazil. Oh man, there's like this community that don't have a school. Like it really sucks. Like I want to build a nice school there and fund it and keep it open.
And they do. In start, they do this kind of stuff, but I will be much more active trying. Maybe that will be one of my main activities. Maybe I will go into like other stuff, try to help some animals. Maybe I would have a private zoo just to keep animals who are in danger.
What selfish things would you do? Okay, so a yacht. Okay, so we know you will help the world.
I will try to help the world.
What kind of other selfish things would you do besides a yacht?
Selfish thing.
Like, not selfish, but for yourself. Like, you have a yacht, you live in a nice house, obviously.
I will have a private swimming pool.
But you have servants, like, already house.
Servants?
Look at like a little bell.
No, because then you have to live with someone, and that will feel weird. I don't want to have someone all the time who is not someone who I choose, like, like my family.
Private, yeah.
No, but I don't know. I will have, for example, like, for some people who, I like cooking, and then I don't like cooking all the time.
So
maybe I will have like a private chef.
Okay, that's
right. But I will make sure that everyone who is employed by me receives like a very good compensation, because it's in my best interest.
Yeah, for sure.
That they feel good. I will not treat people like they are less, which is what seems to happen. I feel super bad if you go to a hotel.
Yeah.
If you go to a resort, let's say you go to a resort in Dominican Republic, and then I've been there. I have been in one. Then you see all these people there feeling very entitled, all the tourists, like trying to be like being served by the people working there, who are being paid very low, and they have nothing outside, and they have to go in, work, and see how the tourists, like waste, not money, waste food. And that's terrible.
Yeah.
And people treat them badly.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's not something I would do. Why would I? Just because I have more money doesn't mean that I have to do that. So I will treat people very well, the people who work for me.
Yeah.
And I'm a super nice guy. Not bad.
And hopefully you would stay like that as a billionaire.
That's the question. It's like,
you'd be like, or maybe you're out of touch and you forget what it's like to be.
That's the risk. Maybe you get out of touch.
But I mean, we both come from like a poor background. Like we didn't grow up in rich, environments. So I think, hopefully we will keep that humility.
I think that maybe that's one of the issues. I don't know if all these people who we are talking about, I don't think they came from a poor background. I think they came from a well enough background that they never felt needs, or they never we're in touch with people in need.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. I think in our case, we know better. So, or we think we know better. So it's like,
we think.
yeah, but I think we will not forget that.
I hope so.
I hope so, because when we become... No, I think so, but what evil things? Yeah, probably, this is one of evil, what bad thing I will do. If something, someone does something that I don't like,
You see?
against me, and then, I don't know, because sometimes what happens to me is there's something that I feel that is unfair.
Yeah, like justice, I think.
Yeah, like for example, but small, stupid things, but I don't know, you are there and then you are doing something and then the police stops you and then they give you a hard time for something that you have done, but it's not something that you really did something very bad. It's like, whatever, the other day I parked my car for 5 minutes close to my house, in a place that is not allowed for cars.
Yeah.
But there's no bikes, no pedestrian, no nothing. But still it's not allowed, right? So fine, the police came, they gave me a very hard time because I was doing that, and they wanted to take my car away.
Oh shit.
Right? And they didn't at the end, they didn't put me a fine. But they gave me a bad hard time.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I feel like, okay, I was doing something and I cannot fight against it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a normal person and I have to abide by the law.
But if you're a billionaire,
if I was a billionaire, probably this is what I would do. I would be like, fuck you. And if they want to take away my car, okay, take it away. I don't care. So I think, and those little things, I think it will make me an asshole little by little.
I feel like that would, imagine you rent a car.
Yeah.
And you just I don't feel like dropping it off. I just leave it in the parking lot. Yeah, fuck it. Just charge my credit card,
Yeah.
whatever.
So those are
They'll call you today. It's in the parking lot of the hotel. I just didn't feel like dropping it off.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not even.
That's not even.
That's okay.
It's just you become, you can do a bit more douchey stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to.
I've seen that a lot in Monaco. When I was living close to Monaco, I would see a lot of supercars passing by, going I don't know, at 100 in places where they are full of cameras.
I don't care.
With 50 kilometers per hour limit. They don't care. They really don't care because you get a fine.
Which I think is why a lot of people hate really rich people. And it's I have all these rules that I have to fucking live by. But you don't, you motherfucker.
And I think this will be a key thing. That's why, why it's unfair. You feel it unfair. Why I have to go by those rules and you don't?
And your money can.
And your money can buy, because sadly, money can buy all of these things.
It does, and that's everywhere.
And probably if I was a billionaire, I would buy all of these.
Exactly. You would use it, because why not? I mean, fuck it. All these, which is crazy, because if the rules are not applied for billionaires, right? They don't. All these rules that are made just for people like us. Yes, the system is sort of it makes them keep us, but not the billionaires. So
that's true.
So maybe that's one of the most powerful things that the money can buy. Is you can do anything.
Yeah,
you don't get away with it. Even billionaire, it's really interesting. The Luigi killing the Luigi guy that killed the CEO. And that's also an argument I've heard is but these medical companies, they kill a bunch of people and they can get away with it because the laws are there so that they can do it. They're not doing anything illegal, but then this guy comes in with a gun and kills someone, then that's very illegal. So I think it's something like that.
They are keeping they're keeping normal people.
You gotta fight the fight against billionaires. Billionaires are coming for you.
They're coming for you. Yeah, I mean, this is true. But it's not the fault of the billionaires, is it?
But who makes the laws?
The billionaires.
Because you can buy influence, right? Who do you think is funding the politicians? At least in the U.S., they literally, when Biden was I'm gonna stay as president, and Disney was well, we're not gonna pay you, and other companies are okay, well, I guess you guys win. So definitely powerful people buy government officials just make laws. And you see that with like, why is the medical system in the U.S. so shitty? It's because it's not like government officials are coming together and be like, how can we best help people? It's big, rich billionaires making the rules.
Yeah, so no, that's true. It is, well, but it may not. So that's true. But if you become a billionaire, it's not that you were part of that.
Like, I didn't create this mess, but I'm still gonna speed. Come on, guys.
Because if you become a billionaire, it's not that you're like, hey, let's use my power to change the system so it goes against me.
But what if
you're not going to?
Then what if like this new politician came in and he was like, fuck those billionaires. We're gonna make it really hard for them. And if they speed, we'll take away all their money. Then you do like, wait a minute.
Yes, exactly. No, that's the problem. That creates the problem. But at the same time, I understand. Mm-hmm. It's like, and that's a lot of these things that they do. I understand it. A lot of other things I don't. I'm against it. But there's a lot of things that, yeah, sure, I will do that. I will not speed on purpose. But I will be like,
okay, what? Oh, officer, I didn't know I was speeding. No, is there another way to speed? That's not on purpose.
No, what I mean is,
I was driving this Lamborghini and it just goes like it just sped up.
No, I mean, I will not go at 100 kilometers in a place of 50 kilometers per hour because it's dangerous for others.
Yeah.
Not that other. But I will go like 60, 70.
I mean,
like, yeah.
No, there's there's nobody around when it's 6 a.m. and you're driving your car and there's nobody on the road and it's a 51. But like, fuck it, I'll do 100. Oh, it has the power of this car.
Or is it red light? It's like,
oh shit, let's take a red light.
Oh, red light now is
maniac.
Yeah, no.
Okay, actually, I thought you were not evil, but that is preemptive. Like,
yeah,
you're planning.
I'm qualified.
You see the red line, and I'm planning to break the law.
No, this thing. So I think anything that puts you, if you have an issue with the law, you know that you are almost immune to it. That will help.
Yeah,
right. It's like, I mean, you also have a team of lawyers
you can definitely break the law more easily.
Yeah, and I think that's the key part of why people hate.
Yeah, you're outside the system.
I will be breaking the law a lot.
Which, you know what I would do?
Yeah,
just thinking about. So I'm from Cuba.
Yeah,
if I was a billionaire, I'd try to take the island and become the new dictator of the island.
But the good.
Well, a good dictator. I would be a good dictator.
Can I be you, Che Guevara?
You could.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't tell me. Don't picture that you're Che Guevara like that.
I can be
Che Andre. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Do you think like Elon Musk could take over a whole country like Cuba?
It's like, yeah.
I mean, they don't have a lot of
power.
Like, I would love to go back home as a savior and shit. Yep. Like, hey guys.
The problem is, in order to take a country, you need to speed a lot of blood. I think there is no revolution without blood. And I think that's a big, because that kind of like goes against that's my principle.
But maybe we won't be, like, we'll use social media and things like that, right? Our power of influence will get a bunch of people angry and top of the government for us. And then we come in our private jets.
Yeah, but that still means a lot of chaos and blood.
But it will be like,
not in your hands, but it's in your hands.
Yeah, that's true. But it will be for a good cause, right? Like, we're free. You'll be like, Che Guevara will be proud of you. It'll be like, you know what, Andy?
I think that's the fallacy of like any war. Like, you know, it's okay, it's for a good cause, so I can go kill people, I think. But maybe if you have the power of some of these people, I mean, some of these people are very smart too. They are not idiots. They are super smart. So I have the intellect, I have the power, and I have like, you can gather the best of the best. Maybe there is a different way to take over a country, to take over an island.
That could be like, if we were
without blood.
If we were both billionaires, right? We might get bored. And then what are we? Oh, do you want to launch like this app? They'd be like, come on, man.
I'm up for taking over.
Fuck. But then if I'm like, dude, we got a new problem. Whiteboard it. oh shit, Ariel, let's bring back the whiteboard. How to take
a whiteboard in this.
We do need a whiteboard. Yeah,
that could how to take over. So that's another episode. That's like so next episode, one of our next episodes.
Write it down.
Write it down. How to take over Cuba.
Yeah. If you were a billionaire,
if you were a billionaire, of course. Because I think this is a very interesting talk. Like I would totally be in, but in it without bias, without doubt. That's
like not even like
bracket.
Can one person die? Like if whatever the president's name is now, I don't remember. It's not Castro.
Fidel.
No, Fidel died, but
when?
Dude, a long time ago.
Sure. I mean, if the person is evil, they can die.
All right, so one death allowed.
A few evil people,
a few evil. One
or two, but without much blood.
Without much blood.
Yeah,
that would be a good episode to go to. But I think if I was a billionaire, I feel like I would go. At least I'll try to have some influence, and I'll focus a lot on making that place better. Yeah, because that's where I came from. I think, it would be really cool. But I don't know. Maybe when I'm a billionaire, I'll be like, fuck these people.
I think the problem will be like, I mean, every day I wake up, I look at the news, see the news, and I feel there's no hope for human rights. That's my usual.
That happens when you look at the news.
If you see the state of the world, I don't think there's. So it's like the problem is I think like even if you try to do good, I wonder if at some point I will be like, you know what, I keep trying to do good, but then people keep fucking it up.
Yeah, maybe that's what happens to a lot of these billionaires.
And then like
these people.
At some point it's like, hey, I keep trying to help you guys, but it's really hard.
I am getting a super yacht.
I'll be parking it in this coral reef. Yeah. I don't know, maybe. Like hopefully it does, but I wonder if that will happen. It's like, like that's why I was thinking about the one-on-one help.
I think that's key. Like maybe if you try to help so many people, you try to do such big things and they fail and they backfire, you start to lose, right? If you're not there helping that person, right, and seeing the good that you're doing, seeing the smile on their face, seeing how their life has improved. If you as a billionaire are just throwing money at projects and you don't have that impact with human, like that one-on-one, that feeling, then you lose touch with reality. I think for sure one thing that all these billionaires have in common is they have no idea what it's like to be a person living in the world today, like a normal person.
They forgot us.
They completely forgot.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel bad for them. I don't feel bad for the bad. It's kind of sad. I just can't. Like that you have achieved a lot, but you still seems to have a lot of issues in your life.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people like you, but a lot of people hate you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean,
I feel isolated.
You feel isolated. Yeah. And like, I would hate to feel isolated.
It doesn't, like, I would trade bank accounts, but I don't know if I'd trade lives with a lot of these people.
That's true. Even, especially if they're like, okay, you trade their lives and then you can, but you have to live that life. You cannot change it, right? And then if you cannot change it,
yeah.
Okay.
So, I think that's a good place to conclude. We just discussed, billionaires. We discussed tech billionaires in specific, where they were, at least how we perceived them before, where they are now, their crazy worlds, why they're like that, what are the different things that could make a billionaire behave how they behave? Are they good? Are they bad? Where does evil come from? Are they truly evil? And I think one of the things that we concluded on is people hate billionaires because they can get away with a bunch of shit that we have to follow. And billionaires are completely out of touch to what it's like to be a human today. I think those are the two things that I learned, and that I would love to take Cuba away from the Castros if I was a billionaire. And that you would do a little bit of evil because you would be angry and completely ruin people's lives.
I would, what I will do, I will invite any billionaire to come spend some time with us.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a feeling of how it is to be a normal person.
That's true. If you're a billionaire and you're wondering, like, how does it feel like to be a normal poor person, come to our podcast, Chango.
We'll show you.
And we'll show you. Have a good time.
Ciao.
All right. Peace out.